Are we live? Are we live? We are live. Welcome, everyone. It is the Geeks Are Talking, the original Geeks, as it is this case today. With me today, we have Dave, not Dave Rage from Tenacious D, but could be. You never know if you progress
Could
into
be.
that.
I'm not.
You have more hair than him. And today,
No.
we're going to be discussing our trip tomorrow. Well, trip for me. I don't know how far you are, but possibly a little trip as well. And overall, guitar show, Birmingham guitar show. It's Steve Cassie talked about it yesterday. We're talking about it today. It's my first proper guitar show. The only other one that I went was the one that I went with you many moons ago.
And very sorry about that one.
It was interesting.
It wasn't.
It was like, oh, so this is what guitar shows are. Okay, all right, cool. Welcome, Peter. Thank you for joining us. Peter has become a regular amongst the live stream. So tell me, what have you been up to since the last time that we convened on the intro apps?
Well, lots going on. Trying to get the bolt finished. You can or finish for the third time. You know, I did the standard build, then I went for the relic build, and now I've got a nice carve in there. But I'm being a bit perfectionist with it. So you can actually see the neck just about on camera. That's coming together.
Wait. Let me just swap this around. Now you're big. Okay. Yes.
Hey.
Oh, that looks lovely.
Yeah, so that's coming together nicely with the Little Fairs satin finish that I bought. Really good finish.
So before you had used the oil, right, to finish it
on the neck. Yeah, that was just the oil. I tried a bit of the gloss on the face of the headstock.
Mm-hmm.
I quite liked that. But yeah, I'd sort of run out of the glass. I was redoing the body. So actually, I happen to have it here, available from all good Little Fair shops and also Amazon. So yeah, great stuff. We were having a conversation about using that stuff earlier in the week. So there's that. Last time we spoke, my amp had just gone pop.
Yes.
So I've now converted that into a cab.
All right.
You can see it behind me. And I'm using a selection of, I've got the Spark that I plug into it. I've got the Bugera, which I haven't used for a while. And actually, you may be able to see not the orange cab, but the little orange micro speaker that I've got on its side. So I can just plug that in. It's on a 9-volt battery, and it sounds awesome.
All right.
So yeah, so I've been having fun with that, and yeah, just trying to find time for all things guitar when life gets busy.
Absolutely. And
how about you? I see we're now sponsored by Coben.
Yes, so that's a new development upon much pestering. I've been able to sort of get that going. So I'll show you. And I've heard podcasts for many years. So now I'm going to do a thing of, okay. No, it doesn't show. Wait, we're going to get there. This is the wrong one. This is it. And now we move here, which is all very professional. And then we have to open this. And the thing with podcasts that I listen to is that they're heavily edited. So you don't get any of these rigmarole. And you just
what you're saying here is we're just a lot more real.
Yes, more realistic and stuff. So it says something, it goes along like this today. It's like, so, hey everyone, before we start our stream today, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Coben Guitars. If you ever dreamed of building your very own guitar from scratch, then you're going to love what Coben Guitars has to offer. Coben Guitars specializes in high-quality DIY guitar kits, and whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Coben has something for everyone. Their kits come with everything you need to build your guitar, from the body and neck to the smallest screw. And the best part, you don't need to be a woodworking expert to create something truly unique and personal. Choose from a variety of models like the classic Strat, the timeless LP, and even dive into the world of bass guitars. Each kit comes with solderless kits, making the building process a breeze. That was basically it. That's all.
Do you know what? For anyone watching, I had no idea that you had a script. I'm impressed by that. I'm seeing the I'm not sure what it's called, the LP Junior style one, which
This one.
I keep eyeing up. Coben, obviously I've not worked with you too much yet, but I do have one of your kits that I love. You know, you're welcome to get me to try one out. But yeah, you know, I can vouch for Coben in terms of probably the bolt's a bit different because that is a truly premium kit in terms of the whole experience, the upgraded pickups, etc. I see them as different, and it's a different price point. But Coben, you know, for a couple of £100 generally, you get a great guitar. If you choose to upgrade anything, which I think I upgraded the pickups after a while, largely just to see. I stuck some iron gears in there. You know, they are great kits. You know, maple, flame maple on the Telecaster I have. And you know, I think it's probably worth also talking about if we can, you know, you're Mr. Coben, because I know you had a conversation about, you know, using the veneer versus a cap. My experience with Coben was you do have to be careful, with the veneer, but the cost implication of going to a cap, you know, I know it's something that they could do. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Putting you on the spot there, mate.
Well, as a non-expert, I can confidently say that a veneer reduces the cost of the guitar by a lot. I think I spoke with Mark at Coben, and he was saying that a cap doubles the cost of a kit. So if people are already a bit like afraid of spending some amount of money on a quality kit, if it inflates too much, but that being said, if there's enough interest and we can get like 10 people to sort of commit to buying one, I think it will be interesting to get like either a PR style, like a PRS style, or a Les Paul style with a proper maple cap and a single binding, and see if it makes a difference. Because the biggest difference that I think it makes is not only you get more of that 3D effect on the flame maple tops, and now you don't even see me. But also, if you use a leather die, you'd be able to sand back. So for those effects that you do, for example, the Northern Lights effects from PRS, which is purple, and then you sand back, and then you go and do like a lighter pink. I don't think you can do that with a veneer really, because there's not enough depth for the stain to get into the grooves of the flame maple.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think it would be worth putting out to our huge viewership.
Yes.
Well,
we have here Aaron Short that has thousands upon thousands, if not millions, of viewers worldwide. So you might be able to help us out. I don't know, Aaron, would you like to do a DIY kit? Let me know. If so, I think we can arrange something with our sponsor.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can do a build along. You know, maybe we can all buy a maple cap PRS style kit, do a build along,
and then
progress
at the end,
every week, whatever. Yeah,
ideas, you know.
Anyone that's up for that, let us know.
Yeah, put your hands down. Send me a comment or an email at blackpoolmusicbookings@gmail.com, which is the public email that I can give away now. So the question of this stream is what to do at the guitar show. I think I wrote it in like 2 seconds before 8:30 because I had Chinese and I had to go get it. And
what did you have from the Chinese?
King prawn, battered king prawns with sweet and sour sauce and egg fried rice.
I am now hungry. Thank you for that.
It was quite good. China Garden, very good, very nice.
I know.
You know, in Waikiki Drive. So there's a few things about kit guitars. Maybe I can just talk, because now I look at my first one, the blue one, this one, and now I see all the defects of things that I did wrong.
Okay.
So what do I do with it? Do I sell it for like half the price as cost of learning, or repaint it, or just live with it as it, or like try to fix it myself. It's just like little things on the binding that probably could be scraped away. The colors aren't quite the back and the front. It's grinding my gears a little bit. It's like, I'm gonna refinish pedal and pull. But then does it ever end of looking at things and finding defects?
No. So my experience is that a kit guitar is never finished. My first one, the Harley Benton Strat kit that I built, I mean, that's on its second neck now. At some point it becomes Trigger's broom. You know, it's had all the heads and all the, well, in this case, all the bodies and all the necks replaced. But yeah, that's kind of, as well, it's my first kit. It was very much, you know, I set fire to it kind of thing. It was, you know, one of those rustic kits.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, my
Did you watch those videos about Japanese finishing system where they burn everything and then it gets that?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't as neat and tidy as that. I basically watched a number of videos, including Crimson, where people
Ben
just
was
set
going
fire
through
to it.
Ben was going through a phase that was just burning everything that he could set his eyes on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I went through that phase, and actually, I was saying to you earlier in the week, that guitar, I played it back to back with my Fender Classic Series 50s. And I'm going to sell the Fender because actually I don't need it. It doesn't get played because I tend to play that one. And yeah, it's a conundrum that I have as well. You know, I've not sold any, but I have given them to friends and they've made a charity donation, which I like. But yeah, what do you do with them all?
So Aaron is asking about this, is if there's like, if I'm planning on selling them. I think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
But I've only made, let's say only, because only in a couple of months, and I take like a week to do them, which probably is an indicator that I'm not doing it properly. But I think they're all right. For example, this one that I just hit the floor, the ceiling with. There's a few things. For example, here I got a bit over eager with the polish pads and took it off. I had some drips come to the front. So, for example, here you see that there's a little blemish there. I put the tuners and I didn't put clear coat on the headstock. Although the Bolt Seafoam Green already has some gloss in it, so it is not terrible, but it flakes away much easier than anything else. So what I'm trying to say is now probably is not time to sell it at a premium, but probably I could sell it for price of the kits. I'm in conversation with a shop here locally and asked them if they would like to have it as stock, because shops always need stock, and might be something that they do, because everything else works as it should, has a good low action, it is set up properly, and even the wiggly works properly. And I put like locking tuners and everything. So, for example, if this was for sale at the shop after VAT and everything for $250, given that the kit is £200, and I just get my money back, and the shop gets the VAT and the commission, and probably I wouldn't even get my money back. But it's like the price of learning. Once I've actually fulfilled the steps of body prep, grain filler, standing sealer, primer, collar, clear coats applied correctly, checking for microphonic pickups and either solving or replacing them, making sure that the tuners are all right, everything. And then if it's something unique that I think it's interesting, I think there's definitely a space to sell it. For example, even the headstock. I think I'm quite proud of this headstock.
It's a nice shape, yeah, I like it.
Because I remember when I was asking you about doing like the sort of open book headstock that I attempted on my Gibson style guitars, and you were like, "Well, symmetry is a bit challenging," and I was like, "I'm gonna try it either way."
And it came out well, in fairness.
I think it came out well.
Yeah.
Like this one, no,
looks good.
It is symmetrical. Even in the
this time I've seen the back of that. Let's have a look at the back. It looks good. The body, sorry. Yeah, like the color. I think I have seen photos, but no, it looks much more 3D.
So it's I put dark mahogany and then red mahogany on top. to give it a bit. But again, you see, for example, here, maybe the color is not consistent throughout. There's a little space there. Again, with too much polishing over here that got a bit of the paint away.
And I think to Aaron's comment there, I haven't yet felt that my builds were good enough to sell. I wouldn't have felt comfortable. I guess a question to yourself, Aaron, is would you buy one of these? You know, I sense that, you know, neither of us, I think we're getting towards a stage that we could sell them. But you know, what is the appetite for people? I've tried to give them away to charities. Sometimes that's difficult to do. I do see on Facebook Marketplace, you know, kit built guitar, and it's like £50.
Yeah.
So yeah, be interested, because I think, and again, we spoke about this earlier in the week. If you get a Fender custom shop, it's been CNC'd, everything else. So just, where is the line between,
or even Nash guitars or Rittenhouse guitars or LSL or Iconic, or it's like, at what point does it become like, I think, or OEM work, right? So in order for kits to be sellable, it needs to no longer feel and look like a kit.
Yeah.
Like once you just use it as the platform, and then with the finishing and the setup and any other changes that you've made, it's become a Dave, a Bergster. What was the name that you had on your Bergcaster? What is it?
Yeah, so it's Bergman guitars, but yeah, I've got the Big Cat, the Firecaster, which is the one that I set on fire. Yeah, all sorts. And yeah, you know, you could very validly build a brand. You could use kits as your base. And it's again, I'm conflicted in terms of you're just getting someone else to CNC it largely. But yeah, again, I'd be interested.
Peter Collins is asking if they come with pickups, bridges. Yes, they come with everything, all the hardware. Now, the hardware is middle of the road because it's to a price point, right? And often we might want to change the pickups or different types of tuners and everything. So keep that in mind. But it's like, it works. Like I took that. Well, it works. The green Les Paul, the neck pickup is microphonic. The ES style, the bridge pickup is microphonic. So because I have two, I'm gonna swap them around. And I found on eBay someone was selling an Epiphone Warring Loom with the three-way switch, the push-pulls, and the pickups. And it's also soldierless for £50. So and it's an equal pickup. So I'm gonna put that on the LP and I'm gonna swap the microphonics out into that. But microphonic pickups is just one of those things that does happen. Aaron asks if it's okay to sell custom guitars and they are made from kits. Look, I don't know the legality of it. I think it is, because like, if you check Tone Bakery guitars, they are the same thing as this guitar. So the half pick guards, the recessed bridge thing, now they put upgraded hardware and everything. That wing that you see over there doesn't come on the kit that I put myself with the acoustic pick guard, which was a stroke of genius. But I think no, I've heard people that here in the UK in the guitar industry comment on this. But maybe tomorrow we can ask some guitar builders what their thoughts are on production guitars and if they are that far away from kit guitars.
Absolutely. And yeah, as I was saying, you know, that it gets very close. And actually, Steve, I just saw your comment there. I was saying to Raf, maybe we do an episode on what do I do with all these guitars I've built, because I love building them. As I say, I've sort of given some away for charity, and that's kind of, again, it's the cost of the hobby. But yeah, what do you do with them all? And this is why I ended up with too many guitars.
Because if the enjoyment comes from building the guitar, then it becomes, and if you're using the kits to learn and to improve and to like do things here and there, it becomes part, okay, so now I've done this, like it's completed. Do I have a rack just showcasing the progress, which could be a cool thing, like from first one to last one. But this is not America, where all the houses seem to be huge and like, oh, this small room that is like the size of my entire house. But just responding to Steve here, so for example, Coben has pre-painted guitars. So if you don't want to do the painting yourself, which is like, it's not a Stratosphere-esque thing, but it is that. I don't know what you mean by Stratosphere here. Maybe just a marketplace? Because Stratosphere takes guitars, cannibalizes them, and then sells the parts. So
yeah, absolutely that. So you can, they might buy a particular guitar cheap, cannibalize it for parts, and probably make some money by selling it in parts. But yeah, I think there is potentially a market for that. I know Bolt Guitars do offer their guitars fully built for about £120 extra, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a good deal, if I'm honest. But yeah, I see lots of questions. So yes, Peter, I think it's perfectly legal as long as you're not trying to pass it off as something that it's not. I see
that is a registered trademark.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do see people come close to the bone, but I think, I'm on the side of the fence, which is if you've built something, spent time with it, everything else, I think that you should be proud to have your name on it, or a brand that you might build or whatever. I think, Aaron, would you disclose it? Me personally, I probably would.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't disclose anything. No one has to know where the kit comes from. And do you disclose the supplier of your wood? Like the vendors disclose.
And I wouldn't disagree with that.
Or PRS,
I don't think that's the wrong answer. I would probably have it in a small print.
Does BC Rich disclose that it was Iconic Guitars that was making their guitars? Or Badlands doesn't disclose from Philip McKnight, well, no longer involved, but the Tone King and guys, where they're getting their domestic OEM made in USA. So where's the line of and like to disclose the factory, the factory, or Epiphone disclose the factory, or Chapman disclose the factory, which now apparently Chapman is using the same factory as Fred King. He said it's on I don't know if you saw my short.
I did.
Because
I watch everything you do, Ralph.
You watch everything I do. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Or is that maybe a bit scary, like every step you take? Every step you take. Yeah, so it's like, at what point is it important to disclose where you got it from? Because if you disclose it where you got it from, and people are like, oh, but that kit is £200 and you're trying to sell me for £500. Okay, but then you have to take into account the work and you have to explain all those things.
Yeah.
If you're selling your guitar with your name on it, with your own logo and your headstock shape. But let's do the following. I will take this away. I will make some research and I'll come back next week and try to see what brands are using pre-built instruments that they don't like mill and cut in factory, and they just do the finishing work and everything, and then we can have maybe a more
so the kind of I've got the Bergman Guitars brand as a bit of a jokey thing, but it kind of says on it hand finished, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, as I said, it's just been CNC'd by someone somewhere, and if I had a CNC machine, I would CNC the bodies myself. And there's a difference. I want to make a scratch build. I've started building. I've started buying the wood and that sort of stuff. but I wouldn't say that a custom guitar has to be a scratch build, personally.
Even the term custom guitar can mean a lot of things, because it can be custom as customized, like you took something and it changed, like the color, like a signature strat. It's a custom, or even a custom shop strat. Like, what's custom about it? Is it the finish? Is it the pickups? Is it because the pickguard and everything usually is the same? I was thinking like Reverend, for example, Reverend guitars, or the SEs, the PRS SEs. What differentiates it from having an OEM produce your guitar and everything, and then you have your brand and you manage that side, but it's your brand, or you do all the finishing process and all the woodworking around it and QC and everything, and you sell it. It isn't even like, could be like these guitars. I call them Coban XRJ, which is like cool and TikToky friendly. The X like partnership. But it's I don't know, it's just
it's been going on for years. You know, you can look at Charvel, for instance. You can look at Jet and Fasley. You can look at all these, and you know, in the end, a lot of stuff gets manufactured in the same sorts of places, and it's down to, you know, for me, I think it's being honest, but also I agree
business
with
savvy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aaron's saying like, if you got it's on the pre-cut body and screwed together and then put money on the headstock and sell it. Yeah, absolutely.
Although
you could just shape the headstock.
Yeah.
Or just put short guitars.
Yeah. And one person's short guitars is another person's parts caster.
Exactly.
Like it's
I think that's
marketing.
And I think sometimes parts casters don't make more money or don't sell for more money because there's nothing on the headstock. So it's like, it's
you don't
so
know.
impersonal that you see like this beautiful guitar warm off all the parts. It's like, yes, but don't have a brand. So at least the person that made it, I don't know. But like I have here.
And I've done that myself.
I put on the truss shot. This is a bit wonky, but I'll redo it again. The RJ, and then because I had the stickers because I was sent, just put the thing. And even Coban is like a brand that's usually associated with budget instruments, to be fair, like their guitars and ukuleles and stuff. So it's not really prestigious, but at least when you look at it, like if I'm playing on stage and someone looks at it, they'll be able to see something there.
I agree.
Sorry. Peter Collins said, I have a Squire Strat and Epiphone Les Paul, both built by the same factory by Fujigen in Japan. I thought it was going in a different direction. But Mayberry Guitars, I don't know if you know of him or them or whatever.
Who was that?
Maybury? English places. I'll write it down. It's here in the UK somewhere.
Not come across them.
He sent a guitar to Shane from In the Blues, and the guitar was reviewed on Guitar Magazine Premiere or Guitarist or something, and it got good punctuation points. And it was, he made a custom body, let's call it. Okay, so he routed the body, which you can get pre-routed blanks. I was just checking this out here. Actually, probably it's still open on my phone because when I went to the toilet just before coming, which what everyone does, I was looking at this.
Yeah, and I know Harley Benton do one like that.
Yeah. So so you can get this, and then you can outline the body, and then you can cut it, even just like a saw. Just takes a long time. And then he put a Squire's bullet neck on it. Send it back, and this is known. It's Shane said this, and it sent it back, and like treated the frets and everything, and it's now Maybury Guitars. So,
yeah, I'd be really interested in what people think, because it's something that I've thought about a lot as well, in terms of what would people be happy to buy, and you know, if you found out that actually the beautiful guitar that you've just bought started life as a kit, does it matter?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And
for me, I understand, you know, the QC and everything else, and that's what makes the guitar good or bad. And typically, the difference, yes, there's different woods and pickups and everything else. The difference between a cheaper guitar and a more expensive guitar is often the time that's spent on it. So for me, I'd be less bothered. But yeah, interested to hear what people say.
I think because a lot of things are online, it's sometimes hard to test. There's a guy, I think I've mentioned him before. There's a guy on eBay that sells Harley Benton kits as relics, and they sell always for at least double or 2 or 3 times what they actually are. And it doesn't disclose that they are Harley Benton. It doesn't have a brand on the headstock, but they always sell. Let me see if I can find. So just regarding Philip McNett, I saw it on the last stream, or last, maybe not the last, but a few of the last ones, and yeah, he said he was involved at the beginning for QC and everything. They're all still friends, but given his time and everything is like sorted. What I needed to do, so he's no longer part of it. I'm part of Philip McKnight's cult that watches the church ceremony Saturday morning. So I can't tell you exactly which one it was. So this is, see?
Yes, yeah, I've seen those. And so he doesn't declare that they are. I've been thinking about doing a Jack Daniels one. So he doesn't declare that they're Harley Benton. So how do we know that they're Harley Benton?
It's very easy. Sorry, maybe a bit too easy.
I'm enjoying that laugh.
Where do you think this is from?
I recognise that as a JA90 kit straight away. But yeah, it's interesting as well because, as I was
maybe
saying,
not all of them. Maybe
no.
I'm being fastidious, but or this one, particularly regarding the bridge, and then it's like it looks cool and people buy it. So I'm not going to be here talking about crap. Actually, there's a name.
Clearly a good business.
We have a name now. It didn't before.
I'm going to say it. I'd rather it didn't have that on it. Personal preference.
Yeah. Steve is trying to be funny. I don't know. Have you?
Steve is a funny man.
Well, but he's on the train. Is he still on the train? He's still traveling.
He did say he's on the train,
Birmingham.
and I genuinely really want to understand how that train journey is coming on. I did.
How many beers have they had?
Yeah, I did watch the live stream, the Birmingham live stream, which I really enjoy that hashtag. And you were saying, Steve, that you might have some problems around Crewe. I happen to live not that far from Crewe, actually, Steve, but I don't have a spare bed. Sorry, mate. They do have a lovely place that you could sleep on the sofas there. But no, I'm genuinely intrigued as to how Steve's getting on, because that is
trains in the UK, the country that invented trains basically for use commercially. How do you manage to get such bad lines in service and pricing? It blows my mind every time that anyone needs to use a train.
Look, the UK has a long and proud history of inventing things and then being rubbish at it. You can look at football, you can look at, well, sports that I don't understand as much as I understand football.
Rugby, cricket.
I thought of cricket. Rugby. Yeah, we event stuff. I mean, we didn't even enter the first World Cup because we said that we were too good. And then
let the others play, and
exactly
who's for exactly place.
Long and proud history of just, we're the inventors, but we're not into the execution. I don't know why my camera's just gone really blurry.
It's decided that no longer wanted to focus on your face. Okay,
yeah. I don't blame it.
It's it's understandable.
So I have a question related to Steve's highly amusing comment. Have you seen the Hofner Shorty series? So it's like a travel guitar type thing.
Is that
I'm
thing
quite
with the
intrigued by
ugly
them.
body?
It's a body that only its mother would love.
Yes.
But I'm intrigued by them. Partly, for people
Yeah.
that are
No.
traveling and things like
Yeah.
that. I did have a go. I was in PMT in Islington some time ago, and I had a go on the Black Star travel guitar.
Yeah.
That's quite nice. But yeah, I'd be really intrigued. So yeah, you delayed, and the Wi-Fi keeps dropping. You must be on the same train, Steve, that I get, and actually you probably are. So yeah, just a location, Steve, would be useful. I'd like to have like a live tracker. If you can.
Yes, that's what you need to do, Steve. Put your
Yeah.
location on the internet. I think that's great stuff.
Maybe not quite that, and maybe not, advertising to burglars that he's not at home. But yeah,
Well, he did that by himself. I still need to watch the video of the Paisley versus Defender that he put up today at 6 p.m.
The Jet versus Fender.
Jet, that's it.
Yes,
that's it.
I watched that earlier. That was very enjoyable. I would concur with what you were saying, Steve. I'm not going to spoil it for you, Raf. But yeah, interesting video. I enjoyed that one, and I did watch your stream as well. To Steve's question as well, are you guys going tomorrow?
Yes.
Raf, you are.
You're not coming.
I think I might be.
Dave, might
Yes.
is not good enough.
It is
we
good
have
enough.
an agreement.
You know why. You know
I'm
why.
just going because I'm going with Kevin.
Yeah, you know why. But due to a late change in circumstance, I may well be there and grace you all with my presence. Probably about time we get on to the subject of the actual
only 40 minutes in.
stream
I think
today.
everyone has been watching patiently.
Absolutely. So I think if I was to call out a sort of highlight, because there's so much going on. I went last year, first time I've been to that one. I've been to quite a few different guitar shows of differing quality. I'd say Birmingham is definitely my favorite. I'm a bit of a Ben Crow Crimson Guitars fanboy. So I did spend some time with Ben. One thing that I would call out as really interesting, if they're doing it again next year, I know they've got the guitar school present there. I know they're really pushing it at the moment. You can go along and you can they'll show you how to carve a neck, that sort of stuff. So that's really quite cool.
Dave Simpson is going to be there tomorrow playing. Maybe I can get him to accept a Coban.
Absolutely. So that would be cool.
Okay, I have some questions. Can I ask some questions?
Go for it.
Toilets. Are there enough toilets?
There are enough toilets. Yes, I can confirm that.
Okay.
Or there were when I went.
Are there like water vendors or fountains? Or machines?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I will say
overall smell.
Not great.
Is it like
not great?
Old dude that hasn't showered in 3 days?
So there is definitely an element of that. Some of the more vintage instrument sections definitely have a certain aroma. So yeah, there's that. I'd also say I was trying to buy a truss rod cover or something like that. And the man looked at me very strangely when I tried to use contactless. So
what is this jolly thing to be paying back?
You may want a level of cash. But yeah, typically people are going to take any form of payment that they can get from you.
Any form of payments?
Maybe. Depends how desperate you are for that guitar.
And depending of your ability. So look, Peter, if you want a lift, I'm going tomorrow, 7:30. I should be in Wigan by 8:30. Be ready and I'll pick you up and then I'll bring you back home. This is
That's a
an invite
beautiful offer.
to Peter Collins. I'm going with Kevin from Geeks and Guitars. That's local.
Oh, okay.
I was going with Tony, but Tony chickened out at the last minute. Family and whatnots again.
I know.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so toilets, water, food. Is food inside? Food outside?
There is a very good shopping centre with lots of eateries, not very far away.
It's in Solihull.
Yeah, so lots and lots of eateries there. We didn't find anything of any particular interest in the hall itself. It's kind of in a bit of a, not an industrial estate, but it's in the back of nowhere. Parking is just where you can find it.
I was gonna ask parking.
Yeah, so it's a good venue. Definitely the best guitar show on the circuit that I've been to. And yeah, any further questions?
Shoe, probably good shoes.
Good shoes, definitely. Any trade show.
Can I bring a little backpack with water and tablet and phone?
Absolutely. And bring everything you've got. You know,
I can't
I'm
find
not going to
my camera.
it.
My gimbal camera.
I was actually going to mention that. I'm intrigued to see it.
I can't find it. I took it. So yesterday, just a little bit of a detour here. So yesterday, I hosted with Peter, or it shows up here usually as In Between Dreams, the Leighton Institute open mic. We had 12 acts, I think 12 or 13 acts, and it ran from 7:30 till 11:30, which was 1 hour too late. Went over what I had planned. I mismanaged, but it's a big stage, and we were able to get the lights working and the screens working, and I was emceeing the thing in between, and we had backing tracks, playing guitar and singing, and a couple of bands. And why am I talking about this? So I took a bunch of gear and I can't find my gimbal. So I don't know if I put it somewhere in there. Thing is, I'm doing audio for them, so I can have access to the place in and out. So cool. It's not terrible, but I was looking for it today and I couldn't find it. So it's quite annoying. But I'm just gonna go enjoy it. I don't have to make content for it. I don't have to. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna find Steve Cassidy and high five him in the forehead. I think he's all right with that. I'm going to find Paulie from Paulie's Guitars, or Second Note as it was. I need to find Dave Simpson somehow. I was thinking if I should tell him to his face, mates, either get a haircut or always you wear a beanie. One of the two, but maybe he won't take kindly to
just
his words.
You do you. You know, whichever.
Just go around. I Steve got business cards. I should have probably gotten business cards. So I'm just gonna go around, get my face out there, and handshake people.
Business cards are a little dated, I think, but I think Steve, I think
it's very Japanese. It's like
north of the border. Maybe they're a bit more cutting edge. But yeah, I mean, you could go create.
Steve-san, yes, business card. Please accept this humble offer of my business card. Like, yes, please, no, thank you. These are business cards.
Yeah, I've experienced it, and they really study your business card, and it really matters to them.
Yes.
But yeah, you could go down the QR code route. You could do that.
That's not a bad
I mean,
idea.
anyone that's scanning a QR code of some random bloke,
yes, like malware.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Now I have your bank details. Actually, couldn't work something out this night, so I just want to go to Trap Shop, and it's like, hey, could you follow me here on Instagram? And it's like, yes, sure. It's like, damn. I mean, no, I like Rob, so I'm gonna go try to see him as well. And there's like a bunch of. Is there like music during the event?
Or isn't Dave Simpson performing? I think he is.
It says here.
So there is a live music area, and you would probably, if stalking's your thing, Raf, which clearly it is, then you can definitely look up the times that individual bands are likely to play. So
Here it
yeah.
is. So at 11 we have Will Grief, Patrick James Agel present. Patrick James Agel is another brand that I really like. It's the guy that designs the
So
shellholes.
yeah, so he actually that's a Shropshire brand. And so he also Faith Guitars is him
Yes.
as well. So yeah, I'm intrigued because it's just up the road from me where they originate from.
So it's Carl Longbottom Guitars and Enterprise Amps present Dave Simpson at 4 p.m. Can you hear my son crying?
I can.
Okay. So it's not just annoying me; it's annoying everyone else. All right. Cool.
No. I can hear a child crying, but it's not my child, so therefore I'm perfectly happy.
Let me see. There's no noise cancelling here.
I think there is. Yeah, I think there's
Reduce
sound
my
isolation.
background noise. There is, but it's on, but clearly not enough.
Yeah, I have the appearance improvement on maximum. So just trying to catch up on some of the comments. So Steve, just arriving at Lancaster, be careful around the sort of Preston area.
Yeah.
Less said the better. How many toilets exactly do you need, Raf? I mean,
many.
You're younger
I have
than
a
me.
health condition. Okay, I'll even show you. Not the health condition because that will be a bit maybe gross. But see, I have even a thing that says I need a toilet quickly. Please show me where the toilet is, and they have to. Otherwise,
That's fair enough. Otherwise, they are executed.
yes, the black
Okay.
ops come in. And I have even a key for the disabled toilets. So I need all the toilets I can have, especially now.
Well, that's fair enough then, and I would say definitely research it fully because my need isn't quite as great as that.
Urgent.
I did see Steve your comment about Solihull. So definitely last year it was in Solihull, or more specifically in Shirley. So it's actually not Birmingham at all. Steve, if you're getting off at Birmingham New Street, that's going to be a long taxi ride.
Like an hour,
I
isn't
think
it?
you've got it down. I don't know about an hour, but yeah,
45 minutes.
It
Because
would not be cheap.
Fair Deal Music is in
Yes.
Birmingham, and why are you disliking? What's?
I'm not doing anything deliberately.
I don't
I did
know.
see this one the other day, so I wonder if that works on this. It works on Teams. Anyway, no, don't know.
So I'm trying to
Fair
figure
Deal
this one
Music
out.
are in
Fair
Birmingham.
Deal Music are in Birmingham, and they have a wide selection of used products, including RCF 712 active speaker that is great to play guitar and to sing through. And then I would have a pair for $3.99, so it's like £100 saving. And probably if I went there, it could be a better deal than what is showing online. So I was thinking about it, but it's 45
Especially
minutes.
if you can do a deal with them, based on the fact that you're talking about them on your highly attended live stream on a Friday.
All my 5 guys here are gonna go and buy things on Fair Deal Music on my.
See, now I want a burger. Don't mention Five Guys. So yeah, the other thing that I was going to say, and I'm sure that you would pass as well. I enjoyed also visiting PMT in Birmingham. So we passed it on the way in. It has the longest guitar wall in Europe, and they've got little rooms, like they've got a little tailor room, a little what's the other big Martin room. They've got all sorts of, and you can. It was really strange. You can pick up, multi-thousand-pound PRSs, etc., and no one bats an eyelid. There's all sorts of other instruments as well. As you know, my son's a classical pianist. There's a massive piano room and keyboard room. So if you have time on the way or the way back, it's definitely worth a visit. And with going on the Saturday, obviously it's open a bit longer as well.
Yeah, it's the 2.5 hours there and the 2.5 hours back that is slightly scary. Well, at the moment, I can hear both my children crying, and also I need to still go and pick up my dad's car so I can leave my own car here at home for my wife to use tomorrow, and then I'll take the older vehicle to Solihull at 7:30 departure time. So thank you everyone for coming, for attending this conversation. Again, remember, if you'd like to get into kit guitars, we do recommend Coben Guitars. We are also friends with the guys at Bolt Guitars UK, so if you want like a more learner-friendly approach and everything in one package, they're also a good shout. And if you are going to the Birmingham Guitar Show on Saturday, 2nd of March 2024, specifically, not like in 2030 when this video will still be up, if AI hasn't completely erased all that proof of human life on Earth, I'll see you there. Goodbye.
Cool. Thanks all.